Hello, everyone. We want to take this opportunity to say thank you. As you grow at the Golden Boot, so do our needs, but we cannot do it without you. We ask that you continue to like our posts, share our content, and subscribe to our YouTube, Facebook, and other social media platforms. You may also visit thegoldenboot.com for the latest merch. If you would like to make a financial donation, you can do so through Cash App at @GoldenBoot or through PayPal at paypal.me/GoldenBoot. We look forward to bringing you more laughs, knowledge, and entertainment. And again, thank you for your endless support. Sincerely and respectfully, the Golden Boot team.
The views and opinions expressed in the Golden Boot podcast are those of the speaker and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of the Golden Boot podcast as a whole.
Y'all ready to get rolling? Quiet on the set. Hey, welcome back to another edition of HBCU Hour. It's your boy Pooh Bear. I got my man Daniel D. Williams in the building. We got Aunt Petty Murphy in the building. Fellas, first off, Merry Christmas or belated Christmas. How do you tell somebody Merry Christmas after Christmas? You say belated happy, because you say happy belated birthday. Merry belated Christmas.
You say Happy New Year.
Yeah. I mean,
Happy Kwanzaa.
Happy Kwanzaa.
Right.
I don't know if y'all, you know what I'm saying, happy Hanukkah to anyone out there, our Jewish brethren.
Celebrating.
Yes. What is it, Shalom? I don't know.
Don't give me the line.
Yeah, let me not. I was about to, never mind.
Yeah.
I don't want to get canceled.
Brunfield, all right, Kanye. Brunfield said, quiet on the set, let's go. Xavier Canefield says, who ain't swag? Never mind. We gonna get there. We got some new. We may have a new who ain't swag, but got the remix to the remix, and then our good friend Chuck checking in from Monroe. Keep us straight on the facts. What's good, Chuck? Chuck, we got some stories for you. I know you got all the details. So
that man probably know more than we do about that.
Hey, he gonna have to he chime in and.
Chill out. We finna get there.
We gonna get there. First off, fellas. I'm gonna let me do this. This was not at the top of the notes, but I feel like I've been trying to close out the Celebration Bowl for I don't know how long.
Please,
but let's go ahead and do this. Two numbers came out. 2.42 million watched the Celebration Bowl on ABC. This was the most watched Celebration Bowl, if I'm not mistaken.
I think Alcorn and a couple of years ago. I think it came in at number 2 though.
Okay,
but still high. Yeah,
it's still high. For this year, it did outrank the Jimmy Kimmel LA Bowl between Washington State and Fresno State. It didn't. I'm wrong.
I mean, no, I'm just saying.
No.
I don't know who watched it. I don't know who watched it.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna tell you why I'm laughing at this. And the Fresno State, and the New Mexico Bowl between BYU and SMU. So, but I'm laughing because my wife do that. I'll say something and she'll shake her head. I'm like, I'm wrong. I said something wrong.
I watched both of them bowl games, so I can't talk about nobody. But yeah, them wasn't games that people were staying up for. Must see TV.
Right.
Gotcha. But I did want to get that. So like I said, Celebration Bowl kind of season over with. But big news came out. We ain't got no breaking news button or nothing like that. What we got? We got the at home.
Oh, I like that.
Bethune-Cookman It was.
That ain't me. I
I
bet
know,
you can't
I
blame
know.
me today.
I know.
I don't got access to that.
Bethune-Cookman came off their hiring freeze and made a big time splash hire. Hall of Fame safety, Super Bowl champion Ed Reed has been
Louisiana
named.
native.
Louisiana native, New Orleans native has been named the next head coach of Bethune-Cookman. Congratulations to him. Congratulations to Bethune-Cookman on a great hire.
Yeah.
First impressions on the hire.
It's a home run. It's a home run. I think what you get out of Ed Reed is what you didn't get out of Deion Sanders. And that's somebody who's going to probably be a little bit more X and O's, and who's not going to be as loud, and who's probably not going to start his introduction as controversial as Deion's has been. So, just my opinion. I love the hire. I love it.
I mean, I love the hire. I think Ed has been trying to get into coaching for a while. I think you got a guy who knows the South Florida area, being on the Miami staff for the past few years.
I told you I was going to be wrong somewhere. Destrehan, Louisiana. My bad, Chuck.
Yeah.
My bad.
Same
but, yeah, it's same thing pretty much. But, I mean, he knows that area. He's been on Miami staff for the past 3 years. It's like an advisory to the coach. So he knows what it takes as far as recruiting, game planning, and all that, as far as, running the program. So I think he'll be able to handle all that. And I think he's going to take a different approach. I think he's not going to try to be the headline. He's not going to try to be the one that everybody wants to come see. I think he's going to be about ball. And, I think that's what Bethune needs. They haven't had the best times, in the past few years since they came over to the SWAC. So I think that he's going to kind of help revitalize that program, shake them up a little bit, and get them back where they need to be.
Yeah, I think too. I mean, I'll let you go, Pooh, and I'll say whatever I gotta say.
Yeah, big time hire. I think he has the same spirit of he can draw the attention without necessarily being as braggadocious, which is good. I mean, listen, I'm not saying that in a negative way. I'm not saying that was what was wrong with Deion. I'm not saying that, but you know what I'm saying, it's the brashness rubs some people in the wrong way.
Right.
I do think I only thing I disagree with you on, Daniel. I don't think that Deion is not so X's and O's. I'm not so bad X's and O's or whatever. I just don't think that we see it because when the camera's on, he's in showmanship form, and so we don't necessarily see X and O Deion. I think we will see X and O Ed Reed because when the camera's on him, it's gonna be X and O Ed Reed versus put it on the show.
Right, but I just from a football standpoint, I think Ed Reed was probably one of the most high IQ football players that's probably ever played the game.
Yeah, definitely. Peyton Manning definitely agree with you.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, the fact that he literally ran the wrong scheme on purpose just so to get an interception by Peyton Manning is crazy. But in that, I mean, for me, I think what he can also bring. I heard some people were talking about, what if he brings Ray Lewis on staff? You know what I'm saying? What if he brings Antonio Cromartie on staff? I don't think that'd be a bad thing. You know what I'm saying? Just throwing it out there. If it happens, what could be wrong with having Ray Lewis coaching linebackers? I mean, come on.
I ain't getting into that. I'm gonna just say this. I think there has to be a conversation had about whether or not more qualified coaches were passed up for him to get the job. Because I'm not necessarily saying, don't even do all that, because I'm not saying I agree to that. I'm just saying that that's a conversation being had when you consider that all he has under his title as a coach is a special advisor to the head coach of Miami and an assistant DB coach with the Buffalo Bills. if people were saying Deion wasn't qualified because all he had was high school coaching experience, what makes this any different? That's all I'm saying.
That's true.
I'm not saying I subscribe to that. I think he's qualified, based off hearing him talk and hearing him speak about coaching and all that kind of stuff. I'm just saying we wouldn't be doing a fair justice to the conversation if we didn't mention that.
From my point of view, whenever it comes to that, if he surrounds himself with people who have experience, if he comes in and he makes Ray Lewis his defensive coordinator, I will agree with you there. But if he comes in, hire somebody with experience that has a proven track record of producing a top-notch defense, a top-notch offense, I think he'll be fine. We know that Ed Reed is a great leader. We've seen it. I mean, he's one of the best Ravens to ever play the game. I mean, he was a leader. Yeah, best safeties. But I mean, not only that, he was the leader of that Baltimore Ravens defense.
I mean, that's a lot different than being a head coach, though, bro.
Right.
I get it, but it's going to be a lot easier for kids to respect him and listen to what he has to say because of his pedigree.
I don't know if I agree with that.
And and you bring an interesting question, because one thing I was thinking about on my long journey yesterday while I was on the road, I was thinking about this. We've been bringing in a lot of coaches, or I say we. HBCUs have been bringing in a lot of coaches to NFL experience and stuff to coach and to bring this fanfare and the attention and stuff to HBCUs. I haven't seen much. You don't see that in the PWI world. You don't see everybody like,
well,
hey, let's go get Peyton Manning.
Trent Dilfer.
Trent Dilfer at UAB, but Trent Dilfer was also, working, working his way up in coaching and stuff. I think, I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but I'm just saying it's not like, oh man, what'd be a great hire for Tennessee? So what'd be a great hire for Michigan? Bring Tom Brady back in that thing. Tom Brady's who they need. I mean, Michigan ain't got it.
That's true. That's true. But I'll say this though, like, we got to keep in mind, last week we heard Zach say that they done, offered the job to 10 people. 10 different people. And then, so, I mean, like, for the people who saying he's not qualified and they should have went with a more qualified person, how you know they didn't try to? You know what I mean? Like, how you know that the 10 people they offered the job to wasn't coordinators from other, HBCU schools or D2 head coach, whatever the case may be, who just didn't want that job? No different than Valley and some of these other situations. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like the whole what's their qualifications thing, I understand it to a certain extent, but I don't think that should be the end all be all whenever you're discussing somebody being hired.
I think go ahead.
Good. No, I was just gonna say I really don't think it's not like we're saying you're hiring somebody who won a Madden tournament, and because they're good at Madden, that's why you hired them. You are hiring some. I get what you're saying.
But at the same time, I was just finna get to that, Chuck. But at the same time, it's like we can't sit on one side of our mouth saying we need coaching trees and we need, HBCU coaches to have and develop coaching pipelines. And then every time an opening comes up, we give it to the NFL player who want to come coach. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's talking out of both sides of our mouth. So at some point, we do got to establish pipelines and you do got to establish coaching trees. But if they offer the job to 10 people and 10 people turned it down, then, you can't have a problem with them offering the job to Ed Reed. But like my boy Chuck said, there was a former NFL Hall of Famer who coached at Bethune who has a coaching tree, and that's Larry Little.
Okay. All right. I mean, my thing is too.
So I'm saying it can't be done. All I'm saying is, like we can't sit up here and say every time a Ray Lewis or a Ed Reed or Chad Ochocinco, whoever wants to coach, that they should get the job, and then sit up there and say in a different conversation that we need pipelines and we need coaching trees. Because hiring an NFL player who wants the job every time is what's going to kill coaching trees.
Okay, that's fine, but it also gives those guys an opportunity to start their own coaching trees as well. What if they come in and they do a good job? So far, the example you have, Prime came in, did a pretty good job.
So who's on his tree?
Hopefully, he has coaches that'll be on his tree. We won't know that until a couple of years. TC is under his coaching tree.
No,
Is he
TC
not?
was already established before him, my brother.
Yeah, he came North
Okay.
Carolina Central.
And TC was offensive coordinator for 3
Okay, so
Celebration
this
Bowl
this
winning
is
teams. So that's
this
what
is
I'm
my
saying.
thing. Why
Hey.
complain though? Wow, like
It's,
what's,
I don't think it's a complaint.
It's a conversation that needs to be had.
the man just got a job, an opportunity.
I got one for you.
He's
I
an
got one
excellent.
for you.
Yeah, go ahead.
For every Dion, they'll bring up Eddie George. Now go.
Or Hugh Jackson. I mean, I understand it's only one season, but you know what I mean? Like,
Jackson was also an NFL head coach too. Like, that's not even a comparison.
that's a good point. That's a fair point.
My
Eddie George, I can stick with that one. I'm just saying.
I mean, that's a fair point. That's a fair point. But my thing is, we don't know that Ed Reed's going to come in and do a
Who
terrible
said
job.
that? Nobody said that.
I'm just saying. You're saying like, why should NFL guys? I mean, honestly, let's say, but hold
That's
on.
not what I'm saying.
But hold on,
bro.
Okay, hold on. So let's say that these guys do want to coach for a major FBS team, right? And the SWAC HBCUs, they're giving them an opportunity to come in, prove yourself, and then promote up. 9 out of 10, they're going to give Ed Reed a job if he performs at Bethune-Cookman a higher percentage than some unknown coach. That's just what it is.
Okay, but what does that have to do with establishing HBCU coaching pipelines?
That is an HBCU coaching pipeline.
How?
What are you saying? Because he's getting his start at an HBCU.
Okay,
But,
but
you know,
under him to take over next.
He's talking about a tree, not just a okay, because I think we're using two different terminologies.
You want
Pipeline
longevity.
versus tree. No. Pipeline versus tree. If you look at perfect example, Mike Leach. If you look at Mike Leach, you can see all the coaches that coached under him or with him that he influenced or brought out, you know what I'm saying? And now you can look in the NFL and college football and say, oh, this is a Mike Leach,
bro.
You know what I'm saying? This is a Mike, you know what I'm saying, Mike Leach project. Or
So does he have to stay in the HBCU to do that?
no.
Okay, if he leaves and he takes his coaches with him, who's coming back that he coached with to take his job?
So you think every coach is going to go and be under him forever?
That's not
Did any of the coaches that Prime brought with him to Jackson State stay at Jackson State?
Honestly, I don't know.
Or all of the ones who have been in HBCUs probably for the majority of their life stay at Jackson State?
Honestly, I don't know. I don't know if I'm pretty sure he brought some with him, and I'm pretty sure some stayed.
I think everybody who took with him was the NFL or
he had one guy that was an HBCU lifer that pretty much went with him. The rest of the ones were people that he brought to Jackson State from outside, like from Prime Prep or from the NFL or wherever the case may be.
So you're saying that you're saying that they should bring in more HBCU coaches on their staff.
That's not what I'm saying.
It's basically
I'm just confused. Like, what's the problem?
What we're saying, Daniel, is you have to develop more coaches under you, and so it's not a time length thing, or it's not a you got to be a lifer thing. It's like in those 3 years Dion was at Jackson State, if your defensive coordinator then gets hired on at a different school, that's a branch off his tree that you can look at. If you have it, not just saying I got a coach that coached with me who's going to follow me. That's not developing.
It's not exactly. Tree. That's not making a tree. That's just bringing people with you. What I'm saying taking is, like look at Sam Washington. He had Trey Oliver. He had what's the other man's name? I can't even think of his but he had other guys. The coach who was at NC North Carolina A&T. He had him under him, Sam Washington. Broadway. Thank you. I can't think of his name. But he had them. They were assistants and coordinators under him who then went and got head coaching jobs at other HBCUs. He established an HBCU coaching tree. His coaches that he brought up and he helped develop as coaches went on to coach other HBCUs. That's developing an HBCU pipeline. Not, I got these good coaches. I'm finna take them with me whenever I go P5. That's not developing nothing. All you're developing is your staff. You're not helping HBCUs in the long run by that.
Or if we want to take it, Nick Saban and the coaches that coach under him.
Yeah,
if you look at
got
those guys,
coaching tree.
Yeah, or Bill Belichick in the NFL, or what's the guy that was at San Francisco? Bill Walsh.
Yeah. I just don't agree with it. So are you saying that they have to start with him? Because if you're saying that they have to, okay, well, TC is under his coaching tree.
TC was about to get a head coaching job before Deion Sanders came in the picture.
That's what. So
but that doesn't make any sense.
Yes, it does. That's not a. Okay,
let's just move on because he ain't gonna get it.
No, because it doesn't make any sense.
If TC was about to be a head coach before Deion came in the picture, how could you credit Deion with him becoming a head coach?
It's the same thing that you can use for every other coach.
It's the same. No, that's just okay. I give you Dan, in the business world, if you start a business, I intern with you, I learn under you and grow under you, and then split off and start my own branch. That's something I learned under you. Versus if you start a business, you hire me for some other business, I work for you for a year and I leave and go. I'm not under your tree. I may have worked with you and we have a tie, but I'm not under your tree.
Exactly.
You get what I'm saying?
By other coaches.
But I get what y'all saying, but at the same, my thing is
that's not how
even if you're under me for a year, I still can have a major impact in your life and your career over that year.
But you're not a part of my tree.
Yeah,
it doesn't work like that, dog.
Or because y'all know I like my boy G say, I like analogies. For instance, if you have a child, right, with a lady, that's your branch off your tree. If you marry somebody else and they have a child already, your stepchild, you influence that person in life, but they're not necessarily a quote unquote branch off your tree. You get that? You know what I'm saying? Why you ain't bring me one?
I get it. I understand.
There's only one left.
We can move on. Either way, I'm excited about Ed Reed.
I'm not saying I'm not. I'm just saying like we can't be hypocritical when we have these discussions, bro.
Yeah.
I don't understand where's the hypocrisy coming from.
If you don't understand after that 20-minute conversation,
I just don't. It's an opportunity for another brother to prove himself.
That's not basically what we're saying, Daniel, is it's great that he's gotten his opportunity, but we don't want it, and it's great for on both sides, but you don't want to just start the trend of a job opening pops up and the first thing you do is look at an NFL player versus saying, hey, let's look at somebody who's already, been grown and developed under a different coach. That's all he was saying. But in fairness, he said it's been reported that 10 other coaches were offered.
I'm not saying this situation. I'm not saying this situation. I'm just saying we need to have a conversation about always hiring the NFL guy. That's all I was saying. This situation is not the same because, like we said, a lot of people turned it down.
Chuck with one. Are you talking about like P. Diddy learning under Andre Harrell at Uptown Records, which P. Diddy went on to start Bad Boy? Is that a good example? That's a great example.
Yeah, I like that example.
So,
but let me be honest with you. I think that is an irrelevant topic because they had 10.
I understand it. I'm not.
So I don't think that's happening at all.
Ed Reed situation.
I know, but I don't think that's happening.
Because I saw people. People who said Valley need to call Ray Lewis. Then you know what I mean? Like that's
because ain't nobody want the Valley job.
That's not true at all. Valley hired somebody today.
Okay. So shout out to
How long did it take them to hire somebody though?
How long did Bethune take to hire somebody?
All right.
Yeah. So Renaud said, shout out to Down South Football, our brothers over there. He said it's all over the HBCU world. He said that's the argument is all over. People in space feel the strongly about both. So yeah. But the excitement with Ed Reed is being felt instantly. DB Jaden Hodge withdrew his name from the portal. Rick Ross started showing some love. So yeah, definitely.
You even had Uncle Luke and Space is giving him some love.
Shout out. That's good.
Hey, y'all think Rick Ross gonna sponsor Bethune? Wingstop coming NIL?
Maybe they can get the big boys like the Hooters did for LSU linemen.
Hey, Hooters is not gonna be Hooters anymore. It's gonna be BBL. Yeah, they're changing the name.
All right, moving on.
Rebranding.
Mississippi Valley State close is reported. First of all, shout out to our guys over at Swacking the Food, because this is the first place I saw it. Said they were close to a deal with Kendrick Wade. I don't know if that's been finalized yet. But Kendrick Wade's looking to become the new head coach at Mississippi Valley. So shout out to them. To him.
He coached there before, played there, and he played at Coahoma Community College and was like the MVP of their league or whatever when he played there. So at Coahoma. So he got some coaching experience at Valley, and he played at Valley. So I think we say this all the time when we talk about these, UAPB, Grambling, type of schools. You need somebody who knows what they're getting themselves into. You know what I mean? And being an intervener, I think he knows he knows what's ahead of him. I wish him the best of luck, because that's got to be the hardest job in HBCU football, in my opinion. Well, I ain't gonna say the hardest in HBCU football, but the hardest in the SWAC for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of Coahoma, Coahoma Community College. Terrence Metcalf. That name sound familiar? Yeah. The father of DK is now the head coach of Coahoma Community College. So
if I'm not mistaken, that's the only HBCU community college in Mississippi. So fact check me. But if I'm not mistaken, it's the only HBCU in there.
Bro, they got so many colleges in Mississippi. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, they got a bunch of junior colleges in Mississippi.
Yes, they do.
Ridiculous.
But yeah, congratulations to them. Staying in Mississippi, Jackson State. We talked about them and all the people who went into the portal. I guess they started seeing how the program was going in a direction. They've changed their mind. A lot of people have either returned from the portal, or a lot of people that were in the portal say, Jackson State might make a great home. Shout out to our guy coming from Delaware State, Asias. God, I'm blanking on his last name. Just that Guthrie.
Yeah, the defensive back.
Yeah, defensive back out of Delaware State. If I'm not mistaken, he was like all MEAC.
Yep.
So yeah, congratulations to him. He chose a home at Jackson State. Jackson State also beat out Graham for QB PJ Hatter.
That kid looked like a legit player too.
Yeah, so it's good. I know we passed it. I'm sorry. I did have a question. My mind blank. I got distracted because Dylan ain't bring me a Jolly Rancher candy cane too. But I was gonna ask, but I guess I can kind of ask it from Valley too. Did Bethune and also Mississippi Valley State, did they put the new head coaches behind the 8 ball like big time? Or is it does the early signing day mostly affect your Power 5, G5 schools?
I ain't gonna say it mostly affect. They put them behind because you got like some of the transfer guys and some of the JUCO guys. You're gonna miss out on the top flight of them. You're gonna get some high school guys and some other transfer guys who still gonna be out there. But most of the top targets, this is when they want to sign. Especially the JUCO guys.
Whoa. I stopped watching this game. I know that we saw HBCU out.
To my LSU versus Arkansas.
No, Kansas and Arkansas football.
Yeah.
Kansas came back and tied it up. They're in double overtime.
Dang.
Whoa. I know he ain't watching, but Chris, I told you Kansas is pretty good this year.
But look, I'll say it like this. I don't think that they put them behind the 8 ball, honestly, because a lot of those schools, for the most part, a lot of them schools are not signing early enrollees anyway, just being honest. I think Jackson State right now is the only one who really has double-digit signees. Am I not correct in that?
I don't know if you're right about that one, bro.
Okay. And I could be. I mean, it says Jackson State, they have 14 early signing enrollees, which right now Lisa
as
Swack.
far as early enrollees,
Yeah,
that might be the case as far as the high school. But I mean, it ain't necessarily about early enrollees. You missing out on guys who could have signed with you.
Yeah, transfer
Because
portal.
people have already signed, and people have already JUCO guys have already signed. You didn't hire a coach until after signing day.
yeah. I don't think it's a disadvantage with the transfer portal and everything.
You
Honestly,
just
I
missed
don't
out on
think-
half the transfer portal, though, bro.
Yeah, but you still got a lot of high school kids that you can still sign.
Yeah, but we're talking about programs who just lost a lot of guys in the transfer portal. You don't need high school guys. You need guys that can play immediately, and you just lost half of the guys that you could have chose from.
With that being said,
especially Mississippi Valley, because you rely on a lot of the JUCOs from Mississippi.
I think he could go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just going to say with that to Ant's point, the SWAC currently leads FCS in transfer portal as far as guys entering the transfer portal.
Number of players in the portal. Yeah,
so that was.
I mean, still looking. There's a ton of guys still in the transfer portal, guys. I think they'll be fine.
Yeah, but they got a 2 week.
I get what you're saying, but I don't think
they just they don't even have a staff. They have a head coach, but they don't have a staff. You got to get them time to get a staff, and on top of recruiting all the people in the portal. And it's about to be a dead period also. Like, there's a lot of stuff that comes into effect.
Right, but at the same time, can you even blame the schools when nobody wanted to take the jobs? They didn't have a choice. So I don't think the schools put them behind the 8 ball. I mean, that's just luck of the draw.
Bethune wasn't a hiring freeze, so you know that does play a part in it. I think that was the worst time to have a hiring freeze. And then Valley, I'm not gonna really fault them too much because Dancy left to join Dion's staff, so they was kind of
coaching.
They was kind of blindsided by that too.
That's not no boy.
I'm joking.
So, but speaking of filling out your staff, Jackson State just pulled a coup, hiring Alcorn's D-line coach as their DC, pulling him from the rival. So
yeah, I'm just saying, a good one too.
I should say Dancy. Lord, TC,
he doing his thing.
He doing some things over in Jackson.
Yeah,
it's gonna be very interesting. Very interesting. So, I know we talked about recruiting last week. A lot of guys didn't really announce, especially in the HBCU side, until like Friday. Y'all hear that static, or is it just me? It might just be us.
I hear it.
Okay. A lot of guys didn't announce until like this week. We mentioned like Asias Guthrie. There are a lot of guys who chose new homes and stuff, which is kind of what led me to the behind the 8 ball question, because a lot of guys chose new homes this week after the major Wednesday signing day.
I think that's kind of their way of kind of trying to get a little attention on themselves in a way, kind of let all the P5 guys have Wednesday, you know what I mean? And then plus the way the holiday fell, it was like perfect timing because nobody was working, everybody was, you know what I mean? It kind of was perfect storm for them to kind of capitalize on that opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah. Moving on. FCS All-American, the AFCA FCS All-Americans. We talked last week about a few guys that were on All-American list. Isaiah Land and North Carolina Central's Khalil Baker were first team AFCA FCS All-Americans, and FAMU's Xavier Smith and Jackson State's Aubrey Miller were named to the second team of the same All-American list. Also, Isaiah Land and Aubrey Miller will be playing in the Senior Bowl. I know earlier on, Aubrey Miller was going to be in the Senior Bowl. Isaiah Land initially chose to go to Vegas to that bowl. I'm guessing change of mind.
Yeah, I just saw the announcement last week sometime, or late this weekend sometime. So I'm not sure where that came from or what made him change his mind, but I think that's good exposure for him.
I think I honestly think it's a better. I may be I know people going, you biased, you from Mobile, but I honestly, they truly do say the draft starts in Mobile. Like, I mean, at the Senior Bowl, And we've seen guys get picked up. Tyrann Mathieu didn't play a year, went to the Senior Bowl and literally stalked those coaches and talked to everybody on the field to help get his name out and plead his case.
Right. And I mean, I like Isaiah Lynn, 6'4", 225. I mean, can play sideline to sideline. I think it'd be a great opportunity for him to showcase his talent, at the Senior Bowl. So, yeah, kudos to that lady.
Shout out to our guy Mike. Said, "What's up, fellas?" Julian Romero, our good friend, says, "I think they are going to look in the." He also said, "Shout out." He's a Miami fan. Says he's happy. Let me go back to that one. Happy for Ed Reed on getting the head coaching job. Excited for him to take the program to the next level. But he was talking about. He said, "I think they're going to look into the JUCO route, and then the next class, they would get the guys who they want. I think Ed can get some guys because of his name alone."
For sure.
I agree.
Especially in South Florida.
Yeah. So
the only problem with that is like it's only like one of the top 30 JUCO guys who hadn't signed yet.
Yeah.
So that's to your point, behind the 8 ball a little bit.
Yeah. I get it. All right, fellas, we got a little ugliness. We can touch on. Former South Carolina State women's basketball coach Audrey Smith won her lawsuit against the school. Basically, it was a wrongful termination lawsuit. The school said that basically she mishandled the budget or the amount of scholarship she was allotted, and also failed to follow COVID game day protocols. The COVID situation was basically it was senior day. There were some parents seen on the court, but her argument for that, and also with the scholarship, was she doesn't handle the budget for the scholarships because that wasn't per her job description, and also for the COVID protocol, she was not over the programming or how things are supposed to be handled as far as parents being on the floor for senior day. So she did win. It was like a $250,000 settlement or winning for that. So I don't know if you say kudos to that or how do you
I'm just glad it's resolved in that situation.
Yeah, so they can move on. I don't know what her next steps will be, but I do know that I was reading she had like 30 years coaching experience, and she had been at South Carolina State for maybe 14.
Wow.
Prayers for everybody involved, man.
Yeah. 25 years experience and 14 as the coach. 14 years experience coaching basketball at college level, 14 years as a head coach. That was prior to her coming to South Carolina State. So that necessarily means she was at South Carolina State that long. But yeah. But now this story here. This story is something straight out of a Manti Te'o playbook. It sound and you almost have to laugh to keep from like just
Wow.
Yeah. Like this, like a Tyler Perry play or something like that. But Coppin State, man,
light skinned dude involved with braids,
boy. Coppin State. So former Coppin State basketball player is currently in a lawsuit against the school. This has been all over social media. I originally saw this on I want to say on Twitter. Then there's this attorney, kind of like a hip hop attorney, that broke it down on TikTok and kind of put it out there, and then I started reading up on it. But former Coppin State basketball player IBN Williams. Initially, the story began. He started talking to a woman through social media. They started sending explicit texts back and forth to each other. Started exchanging nudes, and then she kind of started blackmailing him, saying that, "Hey, you got to start, sending me more Send
That's
me more,
funny,
or I'm going to expose you and stuff. And I think there's probably like a morality clause in the
Yeah.
scholarship that St. calls it.
And I'm not laughing at this. I'm laughing at Miak Mike.
Yeah, Miak. I don't know, Miak Mike. I ain't never seen Miak Mike and Zaya Kane feel in the same room. They might be the same person
tonight.
Some of they tweets.
For sure.
But the story gets wilder because one of his former teammates who's also turned coach, Lucien Brownlee, came to him and they started talking, and Lucien said that he had also been talking to the same woman, and she was kind of doing the same thing to him. The woman then told them that they need to perform a sexual act together, videotape it, send it to him, and or she was going to out them or expose and send the video or the pictures and stuff, all the pictures. So they complied.
Wait, they actually did it?
Yeah, it says IBM Williams basically said he did it because he didn't want to lose his scholarship. He was scared. The woman continued to do it and continued to ask for more videos and more pictures and stuff like that. Got to a point where Mr. Williams just said, I'm done with it. I'm not doing it anymore. The woman outed them or outed the videos and stuff. And he went to the coach, told the coach kind of everything was going on. They still took his scholarship and everything else. Here's the flip side and the crazy part of the story. You're a mute, Ant.
They made him practice the day after he went to the coach. The coach was like, "Yeah, I understand out here, but we'll see you practice tomorrow." Pretty much.
Yeah. Oh, the coach is former standout player from Maryland,
Juan Dixon.
Did he married to like a desperate housewife or something like that? Hollywood housewife,
something like that.
Yeah.
But here's the crazy part. The flip side to the story.
I don't watch that. I don't know that.
Well, you don't watch TV. I don't think you watch the sports.
I wouldn't watch Desperate Housewives anyway, or whatever you just said.
The woman turned out to actually be Lucien Brownlee, the assistant coach, who came to him and told him that the woman had blackmailed him.
Sheesh.
They again took his scholarship. He's fighting, trying to get, win the lawsuit, get a scholarship back, and all this.
What happened to get a scholarship back?
The coach was terminated. Let me say this. This is all still under litigation, so I'll say this is the alleged story. Yeah. Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
Yeah, we need to be fair to both parties in this and make sure that we say this is all accusations. Yeah.
Okay, so let's say this is not accusation. Let's say the coach did do this. All right, just hypothetical.
Talk about all that.
Man, hypothetical. I'm going hypothetical. You can blame me.
Oh, we all.
They should have just. You're gonna have to take my scholarship. You're gonna have to just take it. I'm sorry, dog.
I get what you're saying.
I'm refraining from this conversation.
I get what you're saying. Right. I get what you're saying. But you never know what people have come from, what they've been through for them to make some of the decisions they make. I'll say that, and I'll kind of leave it at that. I agree. I would not necessarily. I'm not one to where, hey, if they take my scholarship, I'm saying, oh, I got to find a way to grind and get it back, or I'm gonna argue, I'm gonna fight. I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna take the litigation in first. But you never know the trenches this man came out of to make him say, well, this might be my best option at this time.
Yeah, that's true.
I get
you don't know, like, that's the thing, bro. Like, you might have the resources and the support system to where you lose your education. I understand. Let me finish, bro. Like, you might have had the resources or whatever the way you like. Nah, if that, whatever, I can go do something.
I would have went to the army.
I ain't got to put up. Okay, cool. How you know this dude can go to the army?
How I know he couldn't? I don't know that.
My point exactly. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what people are able to do, what situations.
Would you have done it?
Hold on. Hell no, I wouldn't have done it.
Okay.
Hold on. It's another. I'm speaking for me. I'm not speaking for that man though. Like, I don't know what that man's going through. That man might have, if he dropped out of school, that might have been more shame to his family than anything he could have ever done. He could have been disowned from it. You never know what people go through. You never know what their reason is for doing what they do. So you can't speak on why nobody else did what they did. That's all I'm saying.
This is a Law and Order show.
Honestly, we shouldn't have gave it this much.
I'm just, I get it.
It's news.
It's really not. But I'm with you.
I was, when I heard the story, I was like, this can't be serious, you know what I'm saying? But like, you know what I'm saying, and it's funny, it was this Dalen Williams.
That's my little brother.
Says I wouldn't went to the army. Listen, I know some people who the only reason why they went into the military for some of the same reasons. And people looked at them was like, I'm not finna sign up and go. When I went into the military in the middle of the war, when I signed up, I signed up,
power to you, brother.
And it wasn't. Listen, it wasn't. I'm gonna go ahead and tell y'all, it wasn't no patriotic. I gotta defend this country. I had a child on the way.
That was that sign-on bonus.
I didn't even know how much the sign-on bonus was. That's
Pooh Bear wanted to go get a charger.
Nah, it wasn't even none of that. What I knew was I would have health care for my child, and they would pay for school so I get an education. That's what I knew, and that's why I took that opportunity. I had squandered other opportunities because I was like, you know what I'm saying? And granted, I had chances, you know what I'm saying? I was given chances, you know what I'm saying, coming out of high school, you know what I'm saying, to do better without having to go to the army. And I squandered them. And instead of me, I'm put it like this. Instead, you know what I'm saying, I know my dad probably watching. Instead of me continually to, you know what I'm saying, to shit on them as far as like getting money for, you know what I'm saying, having them sign on for the Parent Plus loan and financial aid and stuff like that, I was like, hey, I gotta step up and do something for myself. That's my story. A lot of people went to the, you know what I'm saying, military when they, you know what I'm saying, during that time. So I can understand. I'm not saying I'm finna sit here and be like, you know what I'm saying, my assistant coach, hey, let's, you know what I'm saying, give me a kiss for this, you know what I'm saying, for this scholarship. But I get it. I understand people make choices they don't necessarily normally make for just to survive.
No, I feel you, but I ain't making that one.
I'm just saying.
I'm kissing no dude. I ain't feeling on nothing for no scholarship.
I get it. Listen, last thing I'm gonna say, because I tell my kids all the time, they be hungry, be like, hey, we hungry, can we get such and such to eat? And I be like, you got something in there, you know, you have leftovers. I don't want that. I was like, well, you're not hungry, because a hungry dog will eat.
It's true.
Hey, can y'all hear that on our end?
Yeah.
Can they hear that? Can they hear it though?
I hear it real bad. But
yeah.
It's like it went away. It's like he come and go. I don't know if it's what's it called, but we can move on.
Yeah. We know the source.
All right. All right. We can move on. All right. Hampton names Dr. Paula Jackson, their interim AD. Congratulations to her for taking on and accepting that. Looking forward to seeing, you know, saying how she can serve in her time. I don't know how this got mixed up.
Yeah, they can hear that static.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Bubba McDaniel. But is it McDaniel? I thought. Oh, you know what? You know who I'm thinking about? I'm confusing with Bubba McDowell, the head coach. Bubba McDaniel, my bad. Bubba McDaniel accepts the Legacy Bowl invite. I'm pretty confusing with the coach. The head coach going to be playing football again. He got Ezra Bills back. But now Bubba McDaniel accepts the Legacy Bowl invite. Former South Carolina State DB and Los Angeles Rams rookie showed out Saturday.
Hey, you know that's Kevin Durant's cousin.
With a pick six. I don't know about all that.
He claimed him. He said, that's my kinfolk.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm saying. Bud Pugh, my cousin. I ain't never met that man. Don't know that.
I mean, y'all ain't cousins.
Man, that man ain't related. Man, I don't know nothing about who, none of that. All right. Dillard University. Shout out to Dillard, DU in the New Orleans area. I forget the name of that street. I think I get off on Legion Fields exit. Get there. They announced that 120 of their 185 student athletes have a 3.0 or better GPA.
I wish we had the Cardi B very suspicious drop.
Name Cardi B.
She did say that.
Oh.
She said very suspicious, and she looked into the thing on here.
Oh.
I'm not saying that's a good job. I'm just saying that's very suspicious. That's all I'm saying.
How is that suspicious?
120 out of 185 got a 3.0. I'm just saying.
Bro, do you know about Dillard? I know about Dillard.
I know. You got to be very intelligent to get into Dillard.
So how is that suspicious?
Because they're athletes. But go ahead.
How is that suspicious?
Because I know.
Because you said because they athletes.
Are you calling athletes dumb?
I'm not calling student athletes dumb. I've been a student athlete, and I know how much cheating goes on. That's all I'm saying.
Bro, do you know
That's all I'm saying. I could be completely wrong about this.
Speak for you and your school.
What about Vanderbilt or Stanford?
You don't think cheating goes on at any one of those institutions?
Cheating goes on everywhere.
Cheating goes on everywhere.
With every student. It don't matter.
Yeah. So why are you discrediting these students?
I'm not discrediting. I'm just saying
you just said it was suspicious. That's discrediting it.
I could be wrong.
You are definitely wrong. Loud and wrong. By the way, Loud and Wrong shirts are on sale
I'm just
.com.
120 out of 100. That's awesome, man. Congratulations to them.
I can't believe you said hey, matter of fact, Dr. Pugh, who came on the show and talked about he's a DU grad. His parents are DU grads.
Hey, no disrespect.
And his parents, my uncle, my oldest uncle on my dad's side. Well, yeah. So
can I like halfway not discredit him and still like have a question mark?
No, you all the way wrong.
But still have
you all the way wrong.
That's discrediting him, and I think your brother right.
Thank you. Dalen said he a troll. Yeah, he
ain't no troll.
You definitely a troll.
I'm pretty sure you're a troll.
Under the bridge. Hey, Dave. By the way, Dalen, hit us up. We want you to come on the show and do the Williams dance because your mom was trying to show it to us, and your brother would not let us see it. So he wouldn't let her do the Williams.
Bro, I did not call them dumb athletes. I did not say it was dumb.
You literally did.
Bro, that's not what I meant, bro.
I find this suspicious that 120 got a 3.0.
Because I've been a student athlete and I know how much they cheat.
I ain't gonna do that.
All
right. I'm just saying, listen, Dillard University.
No disrespect.
Those of you student athletes who want to come on the show and talk with us, we understand. Please do come. We welcome one. Come all.
All 120 of you.
Yeah, it's 180. See, that's Dylan told you don't know math. It's 185, 120. Got 3.0. See,
no, I'm talking about the one who have 3.0 or better. 120 of them.
Gotcha. Now, if it had said 185 out of 185, I might would have agreed with you. But to say, you know what I'm saying? Because if you're gonna cheat, why not cheat all the way? It makes no sense to me.
Because some people be lazy to cheat. Some people too lazy to cheat.
Hey, Savannah State will host the 2022-2023 SIAC men's and women's basketball tournament. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. That's what's up with that. Langston's men's basketball team is 13-0 and ranked number 7 in the NAIA polls. Did they cheat, Daniel? They cheated too to get the 13-0.
They probably did.
Well, I tell you,
you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
Yeah, I tell you, you ain't. What's today? Today is the 28th. Yesterday, Yesterday.
Ask Chuck if he know what yesterday was first.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Chuck. Oh, excuse me, Chuck. Do you know
I
what?
think we got him beat.
Chuck, do you know what was significant about yesterday?
I'm pretty sure Chuck knows.
I'll see if he put in the which collar first. Chuck, do you know what was significant about yesterday?
While we're waiting on that, shout out to Benedict and North Carolina Central for topping the HBCU polls for their respective divisions.
Yes, D2 and FCS. Dalen said, "Nah, it's cool, man. Gonna let him do that one." What's wrong with it? Why y'all embarrassed by the Williams?
Man, we
Why
ain't doing
that,
man.
Why? Oh, I bet y'all was doing it in high school. I bet y'all was.
No, my mom did it. We didn't do that.
Kwanzaa.
Chuck said Kwanzaa.
Might have got him. Might have got him.
Hey, that's funny.
But yes, Chuck, technically you are right, Chuck.
That's funny. That's funny.
But nah. Yesterday marked 130 years of HBCU football celebration. The first game was Biddle College, which is now Johnson C. Smith University, and Livingston College, back in December 27th, 1892. So yes, yesterday marked 130 years.
Hey, been Chuck, around just a little bit longer than Kwanzaa. Just a little.
Chuck, it's the only thing that it's okay, bro. It's all right.
Hey,
Chuck, let me ask you a question. Is it suspicious that 120 out of 185 student athletes got a 3.0 or better? I'm just asking.
Like, honestly, that's only like 66%. Like that, like that's like 95% or something, man.
That's a high percentage.
2 out of 3.
That's not even saying
that's a high percentage, bro. 2 out of 3, bro.
No, it's not.
But that's good for them. Kudos. Y'all don't discredit them. I'm just saying.
You're the one who discredited them.
Hey, quick question. Ain't a 3.0 like a B average or B plus, something like that?
B average.
B average.
Bruh. He said,
hey, look, see, it is quite suspicious.
But he laughing. He just playing.
He trolling like you.
Hey, nah, but for real, kudos to them, man. That's impressive. That's impressive, but it's still suspicious. But yeah,
it ain't suspicious. All right, man, fellas, y'all got anything else before we get up out of here and we get
Happy New Year?
No, I just want to say facts over opinions, baby. That's all I got.
Facts over opinions.
I like it.
I don't even know what that means, but
that might be on the shirt soon too. We'll be back. Next time y'all see us, it'll be 2023, man. So, hey, find somebody you love. Tell them you love them. Find somebody you don't love. Tell them
go make some collard greens, some black eyed peas. Bring the new year in the right way. Make sure you go to church, on New Year's Eve. Y'all know how we do it. Bring it in right. Y'all don't go to church on New Year's Eve? Bring the New Year's?
Say a word, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
My dad is watching. Yeah, I go.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't say a word. I just looked.
You don't go at?
I'm just looking at the screen.
Hey, listen, my favorite part of New Year's. What I listen. I don't know about y'all. My favorite New Year's tradition. Watching Drunk Don Lemon on CNN. That's my favorite. Drunk Don Lemon.
I thought they said they was taking the liquor away this year.
I don't know about that.
Listen, and zesty.
They took it away one year. They took it away one year. He came out with his fiance or husband. I think it was before they got married. He came out with his fiance and they was kissing and stuff on screen. And then the next year they was back with it. They brought the liquor back and he was out there twerking with the Mardi Gras people.
It just said they will have less alcohol.
Man, that man gonna be lit.
Right. Ain't no such
man
thing.
Gonna be lit. I don't care what y'all. Hey, Drunk Don Lemon is the funniest person I've ever met. Or I ain't gonna say met. Yeah, I've ever seen. That dude is hilarious. But again, hey, love on your people. Tell them you love them.
Thanks,
man.
Because you never know, man. A lot of people's
life short, man. For real.
A lot of people we thought would be here in 2020, 2022 didn't make it. So I don't want to end on a somber note. Everybody be happy. Chuck said, Drunk Don Lemon, LSU alumnus in Port Allen native. He was. I think he had a 3.0. Anyone is suspicious at all. So
he's one of one.
Facts over opinions.
If he had played like, nah, no mind. All right, we're gonna get up out of here because
you about to get us canceled.
I ain't say nothing. You see me being quiet. I ain't say
nothing. Hey, tune in to the Golden Boot tomorrow night as we get ready to break down the Purdue game. We also got other news to talk about, but we'll have on some of our good friends from Behind the Rails podcast, their Purdue podcast, talking about Purdue, what to expect from them, and a little bit about the school because it's a lot of people don't know.
Hey, don't forget, Kayshawn Booty. We got Kayshawn coming on tomorrow too. I'm joking. Man, I'm just speaking into existence.
Don't do that. Don't do that. All right, we finna go because he messing up. He effing up. So.
Daniel Williams.
All right. We might get the Williams dance tomorrow too.
Chill out.
All right, like that. We out.
Who is swag? If ain't swag, who is swag? If ain't swag, who is swag? If I ain't swag, swag. Who is